Okay, yes. I think that's looking pretty good. Oh, hello. You caught me at a weird moment. Currently, I'm actually doing some writing. I am working on the architect projects because we have to really think about what's going on for the future of this city. We need to figure out exactly what we're going to build. As you can see, we already have stuff listed off and a few things more that we have not built yet. Some of these things will be coming in today's episode. Things are getting serious. We're running a full-on city here, and as it expands, things are gonna just get even more complicated with running a city because, man, I'm not qualified for this. As you can see, we have a budget. The mayor has approved of actually furnishing this room. It took a little bit of time because, we had to get approval from the mayor to actually, furnish this room. We had to find the funding for it, and now we have a nice little room all dedicated to architecture. And that is why we have a map here. We can see the land that we are working with and plan out accordingly. And as the sheriff slash architect of this place, and almost kind of the mayor because the actual mayor is a camel. But yeah, there's tons of things to plan, and I already have a few things planned for today. We'll get into that though. Let me tell you something a little interesting that happened in between episodes. So you might notice these were not here in previous episodes, and that is because I didn't think I needed them. But apparently, if I, am staying up too late, zombies can easily get up here. And I wish I recorded it. I think every single one of these villagers had been turned into a zombie besides this guy right here. They were all zombies. They were just all in here chilling. Since it's hard mode, they don't die from it. They'll always be turned into zombies. And it was kind of funny. It was very annoying. And I had to collect gold. Oh yeah, something else you might have noticed. In between episodes, I've gone ahead and enchanted this diamond hoe. It's my old one from, I don't even know what episode. The episode I made the farms. And yeah, so we actually have an upgrade, and I've moved our tree farm over there. So yes, a few things have happened in between episodes. And I think that's basically us caught up. Yeah. Something I did realize too between episodes is I kind of forgot to put the town entrance back up, the sign for it, and I'm gonna put that up today, but we're going to do that after we accomplish this bridge, which also is going to be later because I have to terraform a little bit because I'm actually going to be bringing this land upwards so that way we can have the bridge just not directly in the water. It can be upwards a little bit because I think that's what was throwing me off so much with the designing process. But if we lift it up, we can make a way better looking bridge. So yep, that's the first part of the plan. And well, not really. I think that's probably going to be the last thing we do today. We need to make a creeper farm. We need to make a few buildings that have to do with different kinds of farms. But before we get to any of that, I already have some materials here, and it's just so nice having shulker boxes. I'm so glad I got these last episode. But yes, I have materials all ready, and they are ready for us to use right here in this very specific spot, basically where that cow is. We're going to be making another tree. Yeah, I gotta over this way. Another tree. And to be honest, I'm not sure if it's better or worse than this one. There's things that I like more about it, but there's also things that I don't like as much. But I'll let you be the judge of that. We'll talk about that some more in a minute. Anyways, though, let's get into a time lapse and yeah, get this tree built up because yeah, I want more vegetation. And now we have another beautiful tree to gaze upon. And honestly, from here, this one kind of looks like it's been put to shame a little bit. Now let me talk about the differences between these trees that I kind of like and dislike. So this tree has a lot more open space. You can see the branches a lot better, less leaves, and it just feels more open and welcoming in a way. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but this tree, you can still see a lot of the tree and branches and trunk, but it's just so much more full, I guess you could say. A lot less open, and I do like it. But I also really like this one. I think the real difference in them is this one is designed more to be looked at from this angle or the other angle, while this tree is more designed around being able to be looking at from like further away. As you can see, like it looks really good. It looks better than the first tree from different angles, like that are a little further away. Like over here too. Okay, maybe not over here, but I know over there it looks pretty good too. However, a little up close, it's not the best. It still looks good, but I feel like that one looks better up close. And from above, this one looks really good too. Let me show you on the map. Look how much fuller this tree looks compared to this one. I really like that fullness. I think it just works like really well. So they're similar kinds of trees, but very different at the same time. The same kind of blocks, and yet they just feel so different. And it is kind of dark around here. I'm probably gonna have to put more lanterns in because this is kind of bad. One bonus about it is though, you can kind of see the fireflies since it's a little dark already. They just show up a little bit, and it looks pretty nice along with the falling leaves. I love that. It gives a lot to the atmosphere. But now that we have another wonderful tree built, we have to go ahead and start by making some of our farms. I have some buildings that we're going to be adding later too, but that's going to have to wait. Because I need to go make a creeper farm. Because as you can see, these rockets, they're not going to last me forever. I've been having to kill creepers at night, even just to get enough gunpowder. So, you know, it's that bad. Alright, so something I didn't really think about is that I need snow golems. And in order to get snow golems, I need to actually have snow. And if you look around, you might be able to tell that there's no snow anywhere nearby. And to keep full transparency, I am using a seed map to find a frozen biome because this is a world with large biomes. I don't know if you've noticed before, but it's a very hard process trying to get to certain biomes. So, you know, I don't think you can blame me too much. I just hope I don't have to use too many rockets to get there. And I am bringing some obsidian and a flint and steel so I can make a portal and hopefully travel back quicker, but I'm probably gonna have to kill creepers. Oh, there it is. And we have a decent amount of gunpowder. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't have sugarcane though. Yes, give me these fireflies. Okay. Anyways, we have finally made it to the snow biome, and I don't really have enough to make a lot more rockets. But I'm sure if I go ahead and find a little bit more sugarcane, I'll be all right. And ooh, is that what I think it is? A cherry tree. I actually didn't know there was this cherry grove here, so I'll happily take that. It's a nice little surprise. Give me these saplings, because I'm not traveling over here like this again. All right, and just let me get some snow. And that's simple. It was that easy. Now we can leave. No, I need a little bit more than that. And I'm gonna make sure to make my own personal snow golem. Well, actually, now that I think about it, I don't even think I can do that. If I build him over in the Wild West city, he's gonna die. So, no snow for me, I guess. Hey, there we go, some saplings. That is all we needed. I can finally leave this place. You know, coming all this distance just for a few saplings and and some snow. You gotta love it. And oh wait, I completely forgot, I need sugarcane. I see some. Hello, whoa, hello there. Look at this beauty. This would be great for a pirate cove. No, okay. Anyway, sugarcane. Damn, look at this place. This is beautiful. No, okay. I need to. These places are very beautiful, yes. And I might eventually come back here. Probably not. Look at all these bushes. I love this. This is beautiful. But I need to leave. I need to get back to the Wild West. Seeing all this greenery is just it's just so nice. I'm so used to a whole bunch of just sand, you know? It's weird to see. Whoa, look at that. It's like a wave. And whoa, big cherry grove. Gee, what is going on? Oh my goodness. I mean, I guess I can't be too surprised with large biomes, you know, enabled, but man, look at this. This is crazy. You ever seen a cherry grove this big? Insanity. Alright, now that I have appreciated the beautiful landscape, I think I'm ready to leave. And there we go. We have a portal back home. Let's see how far away we are, because man, this could either be pretty good or really bad, considering, like, maybe if I know the location already, it's gonna be nice, but if I don't, it might suck a little bit. And okay, please whoa, chill. Okay, I get it. I understand. Am I gonna die? No, okay, I'm good. Wow, man. I just got here. Now this is just terrifying. Look at this. There's just a bunch of lava. Another fortress. Just I don't know where I'm at. I'm so lost. I know where I'm at. I know where I'm at now. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Okay. Yes, this is. If you remember last episode, I was looking around at Enderman over here. It was like, yeah, get them, yeah, kill the Enderman. I was over here. Yes. Okay, I know how to get back. Thank goodness. Oh, this could have been so much worse. Even if you asked me to get back to that snow area, I don't think I'd be able to. Man, that was bad. Look at this. This is the tunnel I had. And now that I'm back, I can actually get ready to make this farm. I have the materials right here. So, yeah, let's go make this farm. I've been waiting to do this. It's been annoying having to wait. Alright, yeah, let's go make this farm. I have a bunch of materials inside of these shulker boxes, and hopefully this will all be enough. And if it's not, that is gonna suck. But we're just gonna hope it's enough. Anyways, though, let's get into a time lapse of me building this creeper farm. Not exactly sure where I'm gonna build it yet, but we'll figure that out. And after just a little bit of time, we now have a fully working creeper farm. And I've been sitting here and getting some pretty good amount of gunpowder. I've just basically been playing whack-a-mole with the creepers. Like, when they come down, I'll go like this. I'll just smack them. Smack. Just kill them as soon as they get down here. No chance of survival whatsoever. And I think we're pretty much good to leave for now. This is a very good amount of gunpowder. And now that we got a whole bunch of gunpowder, we can now make the other farm we need for rockets. We need to make a sugarcane farm. This is getting so bad. Look at this. I have no storage. I'm gonna need to make a storage room soon. Because man, okay, some of these chests aren't that bad, but like, yeah, some of these are horrible. My inventory is organized, and that means we can move on. And the next part of today's episode is actually working on the city. Well, we still got to get to the bridge. I know we got to do the bridge. We're going to get to that later, though. And I really am liking this tree here. It already feels like it's been here for so long because I've been designing stuff off and on in between this episode. So it already feels like it's been here for a very long time. And I really love this. This is such a, it's so pretty. Anyways, though, we got to start making the first building of today. Is it the first building? Yeah, first building of today. And it's going to be right here. It's not going to be along the main stretch. It's going to be more like a pathway along going like this. So it's going to be like right here. I have other buildings for over here eventually planned. I'm thinking of maybe adding the saloon over there. And something else important here. This main street, though, I want this to be important stuff. That's also why I kind of had that empty space up there for villagers. Still don't know if I should put anything up there. I'm thinking I might, but I still got to think about it a little bit. But yeah, this main stretch is going to be important stuff like trading halls for all the different types of villagers. Well, not all of them. They're not all going to fit over here, but you get what I mean. And instead of doing a time lapse for this build, because I feel like I'm getting a lot of those done in this episode. And with a quick little spin, we now have a whole new building inside of our city. And a whole new is a little bit of a stretch. If you take a look at this building, you might be noticing some familiar block pallets, you know, and some similar railing trick. But you know, that's not important. It takes elements from all three of the buildings, which is a little funny when you think about it. But it uses them all to make its own unique building. And that's something that I'm kind of trying to do. Each building, I'm trying to make them feel similar while also fitting the Wild West, while also fitting my own style of the Wild West. It's a hard balance to do, to say the least. But I think I'm doing a pretty good job of it. And now I can show you the side of it. This looks pretty nice, I gotta say. This is the only building with a side that actually has like detail. Like the back, the other sides. Like this is the only one that really has like detail like this. I mean, this one has some windows, but this one is actually like detailed. And then I can show you inside, because this building, actually, before we go inside, this building went through a few different ideas. At first, it was going to be a hotel. And then it was going to be just something else. I kind of forgot what it was going to be. And then I came to the final decision of making it an import building. Basically, goods from around the world will come here and then be dispersed throughout the city. Basically, whatever is really being imported. And since this actually doubles up as a sugarcane farm, sugarcane is what's being imported to this building. And the inside is kind of taking a little bit of inspiration from a boutique, like an antique store. I feel like it looks pretty busy. I like it. And I used a painting over here that I kind of forgot existed. I didn't even know about this painting. I always forget about the 3x3 paintings, and I think it looks pretty good. Let me show you upstairs. I will say it's a little underwhelming, but very underwhelming. So we'll just go back downstairs. And behind this wall is actually my sugarcane farm. That is what the main purpose of this building is. And as you can see, we have sugarcane growing in there and getting collected by a hopper minecart. So it is automatic. It is not very big, so it's not the most efficient thing. But it should get us all the paper that we need. And that's the only thing that really matters. Next, we are going to be building another building right here. This one is actually going to be a deli because I have a cow farm. I do have one. However, it's not very pretty, and I would kind of like to release these guys into the wild again. I hate having them cramped up in this little area, especially when I have all this land that they could be roaming on. So I'm gonna let them go free range. The idea is that they will get free range cattle from my farm over there and actually cook them up, or like chop them up, cook them up, all that kind of stuff in the deli. And I'm thinking of multiple animals, not just cows. So you know, it's gonna be a whole deli. They're gonna sell stuff. It's gonna be great. and I will probably put some butcher villagers in there too, because that would it would make so much sense. But before we get to that, because I'm going to time lapse that, I want to talk a little bit about something else. Some more plans for the city. The idea is that let me land so I can show you it. The idea is this over here is going to be the really dense part of the city. I'm not sure if I've talked about this before, but if I have, I guess I'm doing it again. This is the most dense part of the city. Buildings are going to be touching, like over there. I wish I could zoom, but those two buildings, how they're touching, and they're very close up together, all like back to back and that kind of stuff. Well, they will be back to back, and that's going to be how it is in this very dense area. I'm not sure how far the dense area is going to go, but that's not important right now. The idea is that as it goes out further and further this way and further that way, it is going to become it's going to become less dense. So buildings will start separating further and further away until like they're really far away over here. So there's going to be way less buildings out here, and there's going to be slowly more and more and more, and there's even going to be a few over there. And that's kind of the plan, honestly. That's what I'm thinking of doing for like this whole area, the whole county, because this is not just going to be the city all the way over to here. The river divides where the city ends. More or less. It's probably not going to be expanding into the mesa. Well, you know, the terracotta part of the mesa at least. But the orange sand, that is free game. That is where the city will be. Maybe even a little bit over here. So this Wild West city is going to be massive. It's going to take a long time, but that's what I'm here for. I'm here for the long game. And I hope you are too, because it is going to be quite the journey. Anyways though, I guess let's get to making this deli, because it's gonna be the interior. I haven't even designed that. I gotta build that, and so after I'm done building this, it's gonna be me designing the interior and then moving some cows, and then it's just don't worry about it. You don't gotta worry about it a little bit. I'm gonna do it. All right, let's go. Progress in the city is going fantastic. With every new episode brings another new building to add, and this one has brought some pretty nice ones, I gotta say, along with the tree. Look at this. It is so close now. Before we had to run extremely far just to reach a building, but now it's basically right at our front door, or front gate, whatever you want to call it. It is right here, just a small little walk down this way. And you might see something that was not in the time lapse. This is a little staircase. I kind of was trying to make it look rickety, so it's like, blocks mixed in, trapdoors, fence gates, and more fences to make it look kind of messed up, broken down, but also stable enough to hold your weight. And let me show you inside this, because I actually changed what I was originally going to have this. I told you before it was going to be a deli, but instead I decided to make it a little restaurant, and it looks nice, but it is missing a few things. I want to add some paintings around, but I kind of forgot to do that before recording this, so just pretend there's paintings here. Let me show you around. This is the little waiting area before you get a table. You go up here, tell them about your reservation, or if you don't have a reservation, you're gonna have to wait. And then you have a booth over here that you can sit in with a nice little bit of privacy. And also, some greenery and some plants. It's pretty nice. Then you got the smaller tables over here, and then another small table right here without any arm support, apparently. Then the staff-only kitchen. In here, we have a stove, oven. This thing, I don't remember what it's called. We got some cabinets, more cabinets down here, a little sink, and some storage for like spices and all the other stuff you could ever need in the kitchen. I really like the way this part turned out. It is a little blank on some of these walls, but I feel like the texture helps break it up a little bit. And yeah, that is the little restaurant. Don't got a name for this place. Let's think. Beef Boss Restaurant. That sucks. It's not gonna be called that. Anyways, let me show you up here. This leads to a little door up here, and you got to be careful actually because the railing is not fully around this, so you could easily just run off that. But you know, don't worry about that. Here we have a little area where I'm actually still gonna put those villagers. Not today though, because I don't want to deal with villagers, and I don't really have time to do that either if I want to get this episode out. So eventually I will have some butcher villagers up here. And yeah, I think that'll look pretty nice. Maybe in the back or something, and then I could have like part of this be like the living quarters for the person who owns this restaurant. I feel like that would look pretty good. Oh, I almost missed this. I completely forgot I added this. I also added some grass and dirt and some brown concrete powder to give a little bit of greenery and vegetation to the area. If you take a step back, you can kind of see the way it actually adds to, you know, the area. Instead of just leaving that a whole bunch of red sand in that spot, just looking ugly, making it look blank and unfinished, I decided to add this stuff. And I think it works pretty good. As I went to the edges, I used some dried grass and like normal grass in here at the grassy parts. And maybe I could add some of these grass patches to the ranch, because I feel like that would definitely help make it look a little bit nicer. We have more buildings to plan out. I want to make some stuff over here, going this way further, and I changed up my ideas a little bit for my plans of the city. Over here, I talked about having a saloon. I'm not going to have that over here. I'm going to do something else in this space, like with the villagers. I talked about that before. But I'm thinking of having like restaurants slash businesses over here. More like to do with food. That kind of thing. Food and services. The library, other stuff over that way, of course. But then like this will be like the foods district, the restaurants, all that stuff. Like a deli like I was talking about before. All in this area over here. That way I can organize the city a little bit better. And now that the import business and the restaurant are done, we can make our way over to the bridge and get our last build of today's episode finished. And since I just did a time lapse, I'm not going to do a time lapse again. I'm going to do some more magic and just make it appear. There is the bridge. This angle, it's not the best for it. There we are. You can see the bridge in all of its glory. And I really struggled with making this bridge, if I'm being honest. I looked at so many photos of like bridges during this time period, and I was struggling so much. I planned on actually making like an old railway into like a bridge, you know, because I've actually seen one of those in real life. Like a city that I used to live in, or at least live close to, had like this bridge, but it used to be like an old train track, you know, and I used to walk over it, and it was really fun. I missed that, but so I was planning on doing something like that, but then I seen a bridge kind of like this, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to try to make that, and I think it worked out pretty well. As you can see too, I terraformed up the land a little bit so you can actually get up here. Once again, I'm using a block palette that I have already kind of used. But yeah, I think this bridge turned out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. And you know, I needed this bridge for a while because of walking back and forth. And I have wings now, so a bridge isn't really the biggest priority. However, this bridge is going to bring us over to this area. And this isn't just for like moving towards the small village or spawn village because I got wings. Obviously, I don't need to walk that. This bridge is actually connecting us up to the industrial area of the Wild West City. Over here, I've just been thinking about it for a while. I've been wanting to build some stuff over here. Specifically, one of those being my iron farm. Over here in this area, kind of close to this hill. I'm thinking about like right here. You'll be able to see it from the ranch and over there. It is going to be a whole steel industry. That is what this city is going to be known for. The steel industry. And to do that correctly, I'm going to need to build a really big building for this steel production. And that's kind of why I've been holding off on making an iron farm for so long. Because I've been designing, planning and, you know, just trying to figure out what this thing is going to look like. And I'm getting closer and closer to actually finding the final design for it. So I'm telling you, very soon we're going to be building a big steel industry building over there, and maybe some other stuff. I'm not sure what else we'll put in the industrial area of the Wild West City, but we will have more, and that's going to be all over there. It's going to be a nice little area, or maybe it's be spread out. Yeah, I think I'll spread it out a little bit. But the steel mill, steel factory, it's going to be right there. I cannot wait to make that. But on the other hand, the collecting for that is not going to be fun. It is going to be bigger than any of these buildings have been so far. And oh, I completely forgot. I was sleeping on my roof, but I completely forgot. I need to actually put the sign back up. And yes, I put the materials in here. don't worry about it. And there we go. The last block has been placed, and now we finally have this thing set up again. After, you know, completely forgetting about it last episode. I don't think the proportions of that are right. Okay, yeah, there we go. Now the sign is looking right. I was struggling to figure out what the problem was with it before, but it was like too stubby. It wasn't wide enough, and there it looks way better. And just looking at it, it looks so nice, especially with the bridge right here. And then if you look at it from the other side too, as crossing it, like, man, I love that. It gives such a nice feeling. It feels like a real city. It's all coming together. Anyways, though, that is going to be the end of today's episode. We have gotten a decent amount of things done. We have gotten 2 buildings done, a creeper farm, the bridge, and we have put the sign back up. Oh yeah, and we also got a tree done. So we're making pretty good progress to the city. I need to do some more planning, more buildings coming next episode, and probably not a tree. I'm gonna take a while to get to more trees. And why am this is such a weird place to land. But yep, I got some planning to do. I gotta finish up my plans in the industrial district with my steel mill, my steel factory. It's gonna be great. And we have just so much more to do for the rest of this city. So I hope you have enjoyed today, and I hopefully will see you all in the next episode. And if you did enjoy this video, please leave a like. You know it helps a lot. And I will be back, hopefully soon, in the next video. Peace!